is 2 places behind the decimal. So we'd have to round to the nearest cent. Cent is 2 places behind the decimal. So the 2 tells the 4 to do what? Stay the same. So my A is going to be $9,527.54. So they let me borrow $8,000 for 5 years, compounded monthly at 3.5%. I had to pay them $1,527.54 in interest. This is real life, y'all. So if you save your pennies and put them under your bed or in a savings account and you want to buy an $8,000 car and you have $8,000, then you're going to buy an $8,000 car for $8,000. But if you want to buy a car and you have no money, then you're going to have to pay more because Uncle Banker was nice enough to give you money when you didn't have money. Now, let's do one more. Let's take another real life problem. This time, let's buy a house. How much does a normal, average size, nothing fancy, house cost?
$75,000.
And that's on the low side. And according to whether you live in Quinby or Hartsville or Florence, in Florence you're probably going to pay $150,000 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, nothing fancy. How long does it take? Okay, I'm going to do, even though houses are compounded monthly, I'm going to say compounded quarterly just to give us a different problem. Q-U-A-R-T-L-Y. How long does it take to pay a house off? 30 years. Most people that buy a house takes 30 years to pay it off. What are interest rates right now for houses? It varies. And this is another thing, y'all. Back in the 70s and 80s, interest rates were 15%, 12%, 15%.
That's bad, right?
That is bad because the higher the percentage, the more you're paying the bank back. And so now they're 3%, 4%, sometimes even 2%. And I have so many people that come to me and say, Ms. Cooper, I only use this bank. Well, Ms. Cooper's all about saving some money.
Yes, ma'am.
So I may use one bank for my checking because they give me free checks and they don't make me keep a certain amount and they let me withdraw and whatever. But then I may go to a different bank because they may give me a better interest rate on a car, and lower interest means I don't pay you back as much. And then I may go to another bank for my house loan. I mean, I'm going to go where it saves me the money. All right, so let's use our formula. It's A equals P, 1 plus R over N to the NT. So what would my P be? What's my P? My principal. What am I borrowing? $150,000. 1 plus. My R is my interest rate,
That's 4.25.
but I have to whoop it
Okay, so you move to the left.
because I'm going from a percent to a decimal. My whoop is on the left.
Point zero, 0.0425.
0.0425. Now, we divide it by our N. We have 2 N's. Our N is how often it is compounded.
30.
This one is compounded quarterly.
4.
4. And y'all, I do not tell you these things in green. You're going to have to know. Annually is once. Semi-annually is twice. Quarterly is 4. Monthly is 12. Daily is 365. You're going to have to know those. Now, how long is going to be my time? My time is going to be 30 years. Crucial. Clean up your double exponent. What is 4 times 30?
120.
120. It will get you in trouble every time if you don't clean up that double exponent. So 150,000, parentheses, 1 plus .0425 divided by 4, close it, and raise it to the 120th power. Now, we are rounding it to the nearest penny, so what number am I underlining?
So 8.
When you have money, how many places behind the decimal does money go? 2 places behind the decimal. So the 1 tells the 6
Stay same.
to stay the same. Now, reality check, people. How much did I borrow for the house?
533,000.
No. How much money did I go to borrow?
150,000.
150,000. How much did I pay back?
Oh, 533,000. Too much. You paid that way too much.
So, this is reality, y'all. Parnell hit the nail on the head. I borrowed 150,000. I paid back 533,000. So I paid more in interest than I did borrowing.
That's a $500,000 home.
So my $150,000 house that I bought 30 years ago, I paid $500,000, and now it's got shaggy carpet, needs a roof, outdated. It's insane. This is why you need to know the math. You're not going to be asked to find the area of the parallelogram in real life. This is what you need to know in real life. All right, let's look for a minute. When you get into decimals, we have talked about, and this is Module 2. We've been talking about Module 2, y'all. When you get into decimals, Module 1, we talked about the stuff in front of the decimal. Module 2, we're now talking about the stuff behind the decimal. So, if this is my decimal, we've already talked about this way, the $1 bills, the $10 bills, the $100 bills, the $1,000 bills. We've already gone this way. We are now going this way. Now, if you notice, everything behind the decimal has a TH. The tenths. Back corner, listen up. Here's my decimal. Everything behind the decimal has a TH. Tenths, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. Now, most of y'all are good in front of the decimal. It's behind the decimal you screw up. So here's the easiest way to keep up with, and this only works behind the decimal. Now, if I told you to find the hundredths place, how many zeros are in 100?
2.
2. So the hundredths place is 2 places behind the decimal. So the number of zeros is the number of places behind the decimal. So if I tell you to find the 10,000ths place, how many zeros are in 10,000?
10,000.
10,000 has 4 zeros. So the 10,000ths place, look, is the 4th place behind the decimal. So when you're talking about behind the decimal, it's the number of zeros. Now, they don't match up because the ones, you do not have a ones. So everything on the front and on the back match up except for this one. So the tenths and the tens, the hundredths and the hundreds, the thousands and the thousandths, but this one is shifted 1 over. Y'all with me? So, we come down and they want us to deliver and tell us some place values. So, tenths, it has a TH, which means it's behind. 10 has how many zeros? 1. So what's in the tenths?
5.
Okay, hundredths has a TH, how many zeros?
2.
So that's the hundredths. You with me? Tens, there's no TH, which means it's in front of the decimal. So in front, what is the 9?
1.
The 1, so what is that one?
10.
So that would be your tens. This one has a TH, which means it's behind. How many zeros does 100 have?
2.
2. So your 3 would be the hundredths. All right, let's look at this one. Hundreds. No TH. What digit?
6.
The 6. Tenths. It has a TH, so count the zeros.
1.
The 1. 10,000ths. It has a TH. Write out 10,000. Count the
4.
4.
Oh, I think I'm getting it.
Is it feeling better?
Yes.
Hundreds.
6.
The 6. Oh, I just did that one.
That's why I didn't say anything.
Let's go this one. Tens. No TH.
7.
7.
The 7. Tenths has a TH.
1.
The 1, because there's 1 0. Thousandths. It has a TH. Thousand has 3 zeros.
8.
The 8. Does that help a little bit? All right. Now let's talk about how to write a decimal. And a lot of y'all got through this and don't know how. How do you write a decimal based on its name? Now, you start at the back. Hundredths has how many places?
2.
2. So you start here. Now, then you go here. I've got to write 8 in those 2 spots. So if your basketball coach tells you that your jersey has to have 2 numbers, but you want to be number 8, how do you write the number 8 in those 2 spots? Because if you write 80, you're number 80. Okay? So, start at the back. Oops, let me go green. Start at the back. Hundredths has how many spots?
2.
2. What number do I put in those spots?
3 and 8.
Let's go harder. Now, the word and means your decimal point. So 19 and, so I started here, then I went here, now I go back here, and then I fill in the blank. So I do my dollars, my decimal, my spaces, and then fill in the spaces. So how many spaces?
2.
2. What do I put in those spaces?
69.
Now, notice on the last problem, listen, notice on this problem there was no word and. That's like saying I have $0 and some change. If you have no dollars, we just say, I got some change. We don't say that I'm broke with a little bit of change. So, if you just have a little bit of change, if you just have a little bit of change and no dollars, then we're not going to have the word and. So if there's no word and, you know it's just a decimal point. So what about this one? 11 and, now go to the back, and then go to the middle. So I do this, then I do this, then I go here, and then I go there. Is it fussing?
It says 0 minutes and then the battery thing.
Oh, then don't worry about it.
Okay.
All right, let's do these 3 and then we're done, y'all. We got 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes. All right, let's start here. 900. And now come here. 1,000.